Hey team, got some sun. Today I want to talk about the scenarios in which zone 2 perform and enhance the most, and maybe where it doesn't. But for context, I want to explain what I've done the last 3 days. 2 days ago, I was on Snow King with my niece who's here training in the summer for her D1 lacrosse season. We did 6 by 30-second, very steep, very hard hill rate.
To the rock, to the rock.
This is about 30%, very steep. Yesterday, and it's hill interval for me today on Snow King. And that's what I did yesterday. I was at Snow King doing 4 by 5 minute threshold intervals uphill. So 2 really good quality days. Today's day 3. I'm out for a zone 2 hour run. But first, I have to thank you guys. Yesterday was the first day launch of my coaching app. And we really had a great roster building day. And I want to thank all you guys and gals on YouTube, because you made up the bulk of our roster building day. I targeted and hit my goal for the day and exceeded it. Super excited for day 2 and for the next 8 days now. We've got a special promotion that's gonna get you into the coaching app and the team for under $5 a week. So I wanna use today again to talk about maybe some perceptions and purpose and performance gains that come from zone 2, and use my day's experience within the app to explain that. Okay, first 2 scenarios I want to talk about where zone 2 really excels and can help your performance is 1, when you're doing lots of volume. We're talking pro level volume, where the majority of the miles you're doing are easy in zone 2 because of the volume you're doing. 80, 90, 100 mile weeks, a lot of that focus, a lot of that volume comes from zone 2, just again because of the pure sense of the volume with quality strategic intensity built into that. And secondly, it's kind of goes in hand with that. Let's say you're not doing high volume. Sorry for the traffic. If you're not doing high volume you are focusing on zone 2, in this scenario, you want to progressively, gradually build your volume. So you're each week, each month, it's a little bit more than you're used to. So it's progressive overload where you're training your body to get used to more and more, where again, now a lot of your time can come from zone 2 because you're shocking the system. It could either be you're just new to the sport, or you've taken the off season off or a lot of recovery, and now it's time to build again, where you're again each week, each month progressively increasing that load, where again you're sprinkling in proper intensity based on the phase, but most of that progressive volume is an easy zone 2. Another scenario is more of what I'm doing today. It's because I've had a kind of a busy schedule over the summer, lots of travel, lots of projects, coaching app launch. And so, I'm out of breath. I'm focused on maintaining a steady volume week to week, not increasing that volume, but I'm increasing the intensity through those weeks. For the example, the last 2 days I mentioned earlier. So therefore, in this scenario, my zone 2, like today, that we're going to get into in a minute, is mainly for recovery purposes, fat burning purposes, and ability to maintain that steady weekly volume, but allowing me to get recovered for a little bit more intensity progression that I'll do tomorrow and Friday. So, process of elimination, we can start to kind of guess maybe what's the least beneficial for you in using zone 2. And that would be the scenario where you're maintaining, you're doing the same thing all the time, nothing changes, there's no progression, you're not increasing volume, you're not increasing intensity, and all you're doing is zone 2. So for my training block this summer, I'm really focused on a little bit more quality over quantity, working on some limiters as far as my run form. And then when fall comes, have a little bit more time, I'm gonna apply that to a monster endurance build. Some of my mantra words for this training block are patience and eagerness, and those might sound counterintuitive. These words were necessary because I found over the years of accumulating so much mountain miles that my flat efficiency kind of took a hit. My flat cadence took a hit. I'm not relaxed as I used to be because I'm on trail, and sometimes you kind of naturally have to tense up the body to navigate the terrain. So that's another purpose of today, is I'm putting in play patience with my footstep, my foot strike, patience with my cadence, and just relaxing with some before the run activations. Took 5 minutes, and then it allows me to relax, and for me, really engage swinging my arms a little bit more in a relaxed state. And then in this case, eagerness comes into being eager to be patient, kind of playing on itself. But sometimes I need to be eager to get back to some of the basics, which we all need. Ooh, it's sweaty out there. It's really warm. Zone 2 can be heat training. Anyways, so I'm back home after my Zone 2 run and wanted to take you through my workout, my practice of the day. When I go into the coaching app, the first thing I see every morning is my training system for the day. First thing is the daily briefing. It lets me know what the purpose of the day is, full encompassing, explaining everything we're going to accomplish this day. Then for today, I go into my pre-run form work, which has me for 8 minutes. So it actually kind of acts as a good warm up before I head out the door. I'm doing shin box to help with my shoulders. I tend to kind of slump a little bit. So I'm working on pulling my shoulders back a little bit to relax and to actually breathe better. So doing shin box and then shoulder marches to help with my arm swing. And then I'm right into my run, getting my workout. So I've got my warm up, 5-10 minutes, easy, nice, easy, zone 1. And then the main set's going to be, I did 45 minutes at easy aerobic effort, zone 1, which for me is 136 to 150. It was a little warm today, so it was hard to keep my heart rate in that zone because of the heat and humidity, but Coach EO Engine in the app knew that it was hot. I mentioned that yesterday in yesterday's workout where I had my heart rate was a little high because of the heat. So the coaching engine kind of coached me into run a little bit more by feel today if the heart rate creeped up, and it did. And so, yeah, so really during this run, part of my workout was to just focus on relaxing and just relaxing the shoulders, take everything I did with the form and the drills, pre-run, and just continuing to relax. Like I mentioned, out on the run, I tend to be a little stiff upper body, so I'm always working on relaxing when I'm doing these easy runs. And then after I'm done with my workout, and I'll take you through it, the last thing I have planned for today is the peak performance mindset training. So part of the onboarding questionnaire all athletes do when they go into the coaching system is that we focus on their run personality. I have 4 running traits that kind of go into how I structure and coach runners on a day-to-day basis based on their personality. And so one trait and one personality of the 4 is me. I'm a free spirit. So as a free spirit, adventure skill of the day. As a free spirit, routine can feel like a drag. I love to train, but as I mentioned out on the run, I got away from the structure of the flat and easy because I love being in the mountain so much. And that finally caught up with me. So my mindset training is speaking to that today. So as I said, as a free spirit, routine can be a drag, but mastering a skill like a more efficient run form is kind of an adventure in itself. Today's practice isn't about grinding out miles. It's about exploring a new way to be moving. And then I mentioned my One of my mantras was eagerness. So my next little exercise to read is my eagerness curiosity. Your mantra is strong, patient, and eager. Today, lean into eager. Be curious about how relaxed arm swing feels. What changes? Does your breathing get easier? Do you feel freer, more relaxed? This isn't a pass-fail test. It's a discovery process. So that's how we're gonna really mesh in this peak performance mindset training in with workouts. And all of what I'm doing today takes into what I input after the workouts, the comments I made, and it scrambles it all up and then adjusts tomorrow, adjusts next week, all based on all these metrics that I'm feeding into it. So it's always adjusting based on what happened today, what happened yesterday. So it's really, really cool. All right, that's enough about me. Let's get back to you. I hope you enjoyed this Zone 2 video. There's a lot of noise about Zone 2. I know this isn't the first Zone 2 video you've watched, but I hope this helps maybe put things into perspective of how you might be utilizing Zone 2. So as always, over and out from the South Park bike path, the gym at home, Born to Run World. See you guys.